So for today, we're gonna be trying Tibalt's mill list. They took it to second in the challenge. I watched them pilot it in the mill Discord. Um, it's an interesting twist. I definitely like the murderous cut as a way to deal with Murktide in the main board. And other than that, it's a pretty stock main board. You'll notice that there's one Mikokoro instead of a sixth fetch land, and then one Sheldock Isle instead of a Dark Slick is the changes from what my mana base typically is to what they're running. Other than that, you've got 4 Hedron Crab, 4 Ruin Crab, only 3 Visions of Beyond because we're running a 1 of Into the Story. And then 3 Surgicals. Makes sense. Surgical's pretty well positioned right now in the meta. And then 4 Drowns. And then, of course, your 4 Tashas, 4 Sanities, and 4 Archive Traps for your mill spell. 2 Crypt Incursion. I don't know how I feel about 2 Crypt in the main instead of 1 main, 1 side, but we'll see how it plays out. And then, as I mentioned, the Into the Story over the 4th Visions. While this technically costs 4 mana to draw 4 most of the time, because they're going to have more than 7 cards in their graveyard, let's be honest, we're mill. We'll see how relevant the 3 additional mana for some stiff ends up. As far as what the sideboard is concerned, we've got 3 Extirpates and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns, so that way we have 5 total additional exile effects from the graveyard, leaving us with 8. I feel 8's the correct number, is where you want to be. And we've got 1 of Damnation here as a good board wipe. 2 Engineered Explosives, again, for relatively low to the curve board wipes. A Baleful Mastery here. This is a card we've tried in the past. It works, and it's a great way to deal with a creature that doesn't die to push or pesky Planeswalker. Then you have Echoing Truth to bounce something and rebuild to bounce all those artifacts, or just cycle if you're ahead in the matchup where you need to bounce. A Tormod's Crypt as yet another exile effect. So there's technically 9. And then 2 Ghost Quarters. What's interesting here is Tibalt will typically board in up to, I want to say it's 64 cards for matches or games 2 and games 3. Bringing in the Ghost Quarters and additional cards. I don't know which additional cards are just default. So we'll see and try to figure that out. And then, of course, a Lurrus in the companion slot here. That being said, that's the rundown of this mill list. Let's take it into a league and see how we can do with it. We've got ourselves match number 1 here. Facing against Relk Myth. Let's reveal the Lurrus. They reveal a Lurrus. So Tasha's probably isn't a bad card. Yep. The problem is this hand doesn't have any blue. So I have a hard time justifying this keep. That seems way too loud. So we're going to mulligan. This has removal, but nothing else. So we're going to mulligan to 5. That's unfortunate. We'll keep 5. Bottom sanity. Hope Archive Trap is enough to get us here. Bobble. I've driven down there a couple of times and played in some of their bigger 1Ks and stuff. Okay, so Hammer. Well, it's a good thing that they fetched. Because now we're gonna mill them for 26. I'm not gonna pay the 1. They mill 13. And let's Go ahead and surgical the hammer. Paying life. So their hand is Aid and Smith. Nothing to really worry about there. Aid, Smith, and lands. And once more. Go down to 22 left in library. We just now need to find lands and hope this will be enough. Well, there's a Tasha's. So if we get to 3 mana, we've got this in the bag. But we've got to get to 3. There's the Saga. Makes sense. Saga into Smith. Stoneforge. Okay, you can go grab your last. I guess I could have plating, but they grab spear. This isn't a plating list. Chooses to not get in. And then we draw an archive trap a turn late. So one lander here is gonna be. Had to move to DC for work 12 years ago. Ouch. Yeah, it's a fun little area. But I'm assuming there's stuff in DC that you can do. So we'll have the archive trap next turn here. Ideally, we just need a fetch land. And we have this game 1. Because I'm assuming this is probably just going to be make a token or put Lurrus to hand. Looks like it's going to be make a token. Swings with both. Well, we're going to block one of them. It doesn't matter which one. They play out a Memnite. Sure. This end step happens land. Push. Push is workable. We can work with push here. Leave the crab back. They make a construct. Don't push me, you're close to the edge. Unfortunate, Wheels. It's a shame you're close to the edge. So they just float the mana here. Gonna fall. Oh no. You deserve it. Godless Shrine. Shocked in. Ingenious Smith. Sure. Ornithopter revealed. Ornithopter played to grow the construct. Sigarda's Aid. I'm gonna pay the. Well, no, I don't want to pay the 1. Undo and no. Because now they have 1 card left in deck. I can take a hit from any of these cards. Because I'm at 15. Tibalt. Do this. We block the Sentinel, taking 8 if they try to hammer. Yeah, they go for the Shadow Spear. That's fine. I'll let that happen. They can gain their life, and then they get to draw a card because Sentinel. Yep. I'll take 8, go to 7, and you'll have no cards in library before you get to attack, opponent. Hope that's okay with you. Because the problem with Esper Sentinel, it is not a May. We're gonna push this thing. No. I'm not gonna pay. And they concede. All right. So got game 1 against Hammer with a 1-lander. Triple Archive Trap. All right. So against Hammer, Engineered's real good. Ghost Quarter, decent enough. Rebuild's not bad. As far as what we don't want, it's probably a surgical. They're not awful in this matchup, but they're not great. But I know I want the EE, I want the Ghost Quarter, and I want the rebuild. And I believe Tibalt goes to 64. So we're going to try just this. All right, reveal Luris. They do 2. This hand's got a Ruin Crab, a Delta, a Murderous Cut, and Engineered Explosives. This hand looks great. I mean, it doesn't have a Tasha's, but being mill for the SCG con. It's in a... Because Modern is such a Wild West format right now, and mill just kind of does its own thing, it's in a great spot. Because there's not much they can really do. All right, they have the aid, but that's it. We draw a Ghost Quarter, meaning we're going to be hurt for colors for a bit. But that's fine. We'll get a Water Grave in, shocked. And lead with an EE on 1. And pass the turn. Because this not only blows up the aid, but also hits every single permanent. Or every single scary permanent, I should say. I need to lead with a crab. So they go Ink Moth. That's fine. And a Void Mirror. Why are we... Okay. Ah. So that way I can't Archive Trap for 0. Makes sense. I like the call, opponent. You just need to remember about your own card. Ruin Crab. Land for the turn. Yield. Hit 2 drums and a Stoneforge. You got the Ghost Quarter to hit the Ink Moth at any point. We don't have the EE online yet, but that's fine. Marsh Flats, they go a fetching. I would so love to cast this Archive Trap, but we know how that's going to interact. Black and the Thoughtseize. Okay. Probably takes Murderous Cut. Need to figure out a standard deck. I don't know too much about standard. I've been watching Jaffer play a lot of mono green. That's been kicking butt. But, you know, it's hard to say go mono green when that whole is it turns thing exists. So they take the engineered explosives here. And then they play out Stoneforge. They grab a hammer. That's a nice Ornithopter. You need to learn what Void Mirror does. It's a card. Learn your cards. Yeah, they played the Void Mirror to stop my Archive Trap. This, and get that. Good luck, opponent. Okay. So I could Ghost Quarter myself to get a land drop. Instead, we're just going to cycle this. Yep, opponent mills 4 and we draw. We draw land, a beautiful, beautiful land. Do that. We'll go ahead and fetch, get ourselves a snow-covered island here. And pass the turn. Shame Scoop. Nah, people are too petty to Shame Scoop. That's a nice Paladin. Cancel. Do that. Graveyard 1, 2. Do the things that we can't bring back. Murderous Cut your Paladin. What? You're getting... Sure. Shadow Spear draw a card? Neat. I know that you have a hammer in hand. I'm doing this mainly so that way we have into the story next turn and they're just being mana efficient. Drown in the Lock. Nice. Do this, pass the turn. Opponent doesn't do anything or puts Loris to hand. We have into the story. Then we have Drown. That's an Inkmoth Nexus. Pure Steel Paladin. Because we have the Drown, we're going to let this resolve. Because I'd rather draw 4. And they're gonna animate the Nexus. So that way they have equip for free. Okay. I'd like to cast this card. Draw 4. Neat. Well, those are some draws. Ruin Crab. Hedron Crab. Fetch land. Save targets. Milia for a bit. Fetch for snow-covered island. Milia for a bit. Fatal push. Cool. Your go, opponent. You've got 7 cards in the deck. Good luck, have fun. I've got a Ghost Quarter for your Inkmoth Nexus. They draw a card? Sure. Game at DK Royal this weekend? I don't know. Did they think I didn't see? Like, this still destroys it even if they animate it. I'm gonna Ghost Quarter them. 1-0 to start with Mill. Let's keep it going. Sure, we'll keep this. I don't like Gigantha. That makes me think this is either Affinity or Tron. All right, it's Affinity. You know what's real bad? Destroying non-basics. Come from a divided house. Galv blasts my crab. I guess. Man said, how about no? Well, my crab says hello. Get your Memnite out of here. Because there's not much else I'm going to push. Player's name is Blinkpop Nexus. Hey, people can have whatever name they want. Horn fan through and through. Nice. I have to exile a card? I guess we'll exile Fatal Push. So play out this Field of Ruin. It's interesting because we can't actually touch any of their lands. I mean, we can. Just to put a card into the yard. And we probably do to turn on Fractured Sanity here, which is the weirdest. No, now we don't. Now we counter that. Nice Field of Ruin, nerd. There's their basic. So at least Field of Ruin here says we get to go searching. Blue 1 Tasha's. It doesn't hit for a lot because they have those giant spells. But we do need to cast. Okay, we hit double Thought Cast and a Thought Monitor. There's the Graveyard Exile. A Saga. And that's why we kept Field of Ruin. Because that's a card. Put Gigantha into hand. Now they're passing back. Fetch land. That's not a fetch land. Get rid of that Saga, please. Get ourselves an island. We mill them for 3. Next turn we'll have mill them for 14. They'll have 15 left in deck. Or 14 left in deck. Thought cast. Yeah, they do just have enough to thought cast. Galv blast my crab. I mean, if you're Galv blasting the crab, I'm gonna go ahead and Visions here. Okay, Crypt Incursion's pretty good in this matchup. Shelldoc's great here. Let's see what we can see. We see victory in sight. Put that in the order. Hope they don't run counter magic main. Most lists don't. So he should be safe to do that. And they've got 12 left in deck. So they are just the blue-red list running Thoughtcast over Mirror Enforcers. It's a nice Gigantha. Da-ba-da. Cast. Neat. There we go. All right, so we see 59 of their cards here. Between Exile and Grave. Anything suspicious? Nope, nothing out of the ordinary here. But yeah, no Mirror Enforcer, instead Thoughtcasts. Okay. Good to know. Engineered Explosives. And Ghost Quarters are not great here. I know I want Rebuild. And then... what else? Maybe Damnation? And then trim Tasha's and Trap. Because they don't do a lot of searching. There's nothing we really want to surgical either. Let's take out all the surgicals. And we'll leave one in. Because we can force them to search with our field. Yeah, let's try this. And it doesn't have any mill effect in it. Sure, we can keep this. Bottom. Archive Trap. Mimnite. That. Okay. Not a scary turn one. This and the EE on 0. Because next turn we have Crab Delta. Crack. That's a nice relic. Another Mimnite. And a Frogmite. Neat. And a Thoughtcast. Okay, makes sense why they kept that hand then. They now have 3 cards. And we can make it so they have no board state in 2 turns? Sure. Brew and Crab. This. Yield. Fetch. Ourselves a Watery Grave and shock it in. And let's go ahead and cast this, hitting their 2/2. They want us to exile a card. Oh. They exiled the card from their graveyard. So that way we couldn't hit their Sanctum of Ugin. Interesting choice. It's funny because the EE hits their Saga token. Paying costs here. Okay, another saga. Into drum. Then you're gonna prismatic ending the engineered explosives. Okay. And then a thought monitor. Makes sense. We can drown that still. But they don't really have anything that we need to use removal on right now. This, pay 1 life, search, do this. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 of their big cards. And they run a good chunk, 5 of their big cards. Okay. We'll pass for now. I don't feel we need to be aggressive yet. Because, yeah, they make a 7/7 here, but that's fine. Doesn't have haste. They already showed us that they had enough for the thought monitor. They get to search for a 1-drop. It's a drum. They go a swinging. It's just the thought monitor in the air. We take it. In step. Let's go ahead and just push this construct. I don't like the fact that they have a 9/9. Okay. Then we draw a crypt incursion. Which is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So gain. Well, but they have the relic. So we just Tasha's. Metallic Rebuke. Okay. And then they exile Saga. Interesting. They can make another Saga token here. Which is exactly what they do. They get to go get a card. They get Ginger Brute. This is Swing Team. Block the Brute. Take 4. Unfortunate that we don't have a way to interact with the construct at instant speed. Delta. So there's no way for us to do anything here. But we can do this. Ruin Crab pass. Or Delta pass. They exile from their graveyard. Okay. Memnite is exiled. I can't really Crypt Incursion when they have Relic out. Thoughts of adding a 1 or 2 of Meat Hook? Meat Hook's a card. So this is swing house. Meaning black, blue, drown here. Hope that their last card isn't Rebuke. It is. Of course it is. And they did it in such a way that leaves them mana open to Relic. Will not pay. I'm gonna have to block. And we are gonna have to fetch here. Get ourselves a swamp. Hope to draw like damnation. Archive trap, huh? Make him pop the relic. Yep, okay. Concede. Alright, so they know how this matchup works. At least it isn't Ginger Root Geist. Yeah. So I like everything that we did there. I don't think there's anything that we want to cut or anything that we want to bring in. We just need to, you know, have a way to stop their tokens. We don't have any in the board counter magic to counter their counters. Has removal, doesn't have anything else. Okay, we can keep this bottom of push. It's not phenomenal, but a EE on 0 is probably a good enough start as long as we can actually pop it. Okay, well, we'll take the one castable there, and then any order on those. An EE on 0, and pass the turn. Because it is impossible for them to have a turn 1 play. I mean, we have to go this route, right? Like, this is just strictly the correct route to go. Even though it plays right into this prismatic ending. Sure, have a plating out. What good is a plating with no creature? Okay. Let's go ahead and just cycle the sanity here. Mill them 4 and draw a card, trying to find a land. Bam. What good is plating with no sauce? Exactly. So a nettle cyst. That's a big creature. Too bad it dies to the engineered explosives. Archive trap, huh? Well, we don't have a way to activate that. So we're just going to pass here and plan on popping this EE. Because this is a germ token. Popping EE earlier doesn't change anything. Yep, they draw some cards. Plays Glimmer Void and number 2. Number 3. I can't math. Sure, sure. Frogmite's a card. Go ahead and destroy that. I'm sure you have 0 drops in your hand. Dispatch, huh? Okay. Interesting. So I can now put engineered on 2 because I'm scared of plating. $30 cards left in deck. We're gonna Tasha's. That's a weak Tasha's. But it hit a rebuke. So yeah, I know. I'm gonna get hit for a lot. Oh, damn. 12 damage coming to my face. I need an answer right here, right now. We need drown. That ain't it. Visions cycled into damnation. That ain't it either. So if we had done E on 2 there, the Frogmite gets huge. But we can at least deal with one of the platings. Because they don't play out the second plating, right? You just equip the Nettle Cyst. Yeah, you would just equip the Nettle Cyst. We take 12. Then we blow up. And we still have the same problem. Fun. Alright. Affinity, taking the loss. Alright, we won the die roll here. Let's take this play and let's reveal Luris and go to work. A bit awkward, but we'll keep. Another Gigantha. I don't like when people reveal that card. Fetch for a basic island and get the Hedron Crab and pass the turn. You always lead on the Hedron Crab here. Another affinity matchup. How do we know? Vomit. Ooh, it's a Signal Pest one, though. I like these lists more. Ruin Crab. Flooded Strand, this and save targets. Always yield and yield. We're gonna go get Watery Grave, shock it in. Triggers, and push that thing out of the way. How you doing, D20? Nice. And Urza's Saga. Perfect. Gives our Field of Ruin something to target. Here for the mill and stand for the chill? Good to hear. So we can't really deal with that right now. I mean, we can, but we're not going to. Because instead, we're going to just Visions of Beyond. Opponent, would you like to concede early? This blue. Because you really don't have a deck anymore. Wasn't kidding about them just not having a deck anymore there. All right. So, anything special here? Nope. Just the standard list, the Spell Bomb. is the one thing that I spot right off the bat. But okay. They do run more Mirror Enforcers here. EE is not bad. Damnation or Ghost Quarter, meh. We can Ghost Quarter ourselves. It's a modern list. Boy, you want to fight? You know I'll throw hands with you, Alex. I don't think we're getting to the point where we can cast into the story. So we'll cut that and cut Boomer mode. I mean, that's probably my best bet at beating you in all honesty. But I'll try this. Doing it a bit differently because we did indeed see a lot more. Well, would you look at that? A hand with no land. Mulligan. Mulligan, Tasha's is not good. Push is not bad, but Tasha's is just not good. This hand has no blue sources. So we're going to keep it and bottom some blue cards and hope we draw a blue source. Okay. Let's set it all in the spell bomb welding jar. So do we EE on 1 or 0? Because I have a feeling that it's Frogmite next turn. Let's go ahead and do EE on 0. So that way we can at least deal with Saga tokens if they come down. They cracked the spell bomb. Okay. All right. Bit of a pickle here, but we might be able to get out of it if we can, draw those fun little things called land. Second Saga. Those are some tokens. So they'll be able to regenerate the first one. There we go. We just play the Delta and pass here, so that way next turn we can just put this into play tapped. Yeah. You want to save your token? Cool. I guess we fetch now because I have a bet that they're gonna probably try to grab Pithing Needle. So they make the token. We go ahead and blow up because, yeah, I don't want them naming Pithing Needle or grabbing Pithing Needle here and naming Engineered Explosives. I'd rather them have a regeneration shield. Since I already put the mana in. Got something to do with blue. Welding jar is what they grab. And then a plating. Cast for 0, Millum 13. So the problem here is that. Okay, so we'll drown on their main phase here. Yeah. They make a 7/7. We need to draw a land here. Because if this gets like Ginger Brute and then they equip. Yep. Tap this, equip, and then combat. 4/4, sure. Okay, there's the swing. Let's try and destroy. Assuming this eats the regeneration shield. It doesn't. They just let it go. Okay, we go down to 11. Thought for sure that was just going to eat the regen. Gonna land that enters the battlefield tapped. Alright. This, target them. Hide away. We'll hide a drown. Mill them for a bit. Now we're on backpedaling hard. They don't have a way for trample, but they have 12 damage. F's in the chat. Because they equip, we have to block. Oh, baby, even more. Yes. If this wasn't Shelldock, we then do this. They lose 2 artifacts. They keep 1 with the regeneration shield, making 3. So it would only be 10 damage. I mean, we still don't get there. We'd be at 1 because we wouldn't have the crab out. So we get 1 more draw if that was an untapped land instead. And Field of Ruin wouldn't have done anything. All right. I still agree with what we did. We just, need to find the right side of the deck. Love to play first. Reveal the Slurus. Nope. Okay, here we go. This is keepable. Keep bottom. It's one of these 3 in the middle. I don't think it's Shelldock Isle. Actually, no. Yeah, we make it Shelldock Isle here. Because, well, yes, they are the blue-red list. I don't think they have got Galv Blast in hand. Memnite. Ornithopter. Alright. Not bad by them. Second crab. Do this. Save targets. And yield. Let's go ahead and just push away the Ornithopter because we can block a Memnite that's on the ground. Citadel, but you don't have your 4 for your Frogmite. Frogmite's not free. Plating, however. Plating's a scary card. Makes me glad that I hit the Ornithopter. Mikokuro. That's a fun one. And a Pithing Needle. We don't have to do anything right now. Treasure Vault is found for our opponent here, making them have 5 artifacts. Meaning this is probably Thought Monitor. Etched Champion. Okay. That's going to be hard to deal with. I'm going to go ahead and cycle. Find Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Okay, Watery Grave. Shock it in here because we need to be able to hit for as much as possible. Blue, 1. Tasha's. Hits for 7, baby. Greatest Tasha's in the world. Hit 2 Thought Monitors and a Sojourners. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, God. Double plating. Well, that'll be game. I believe. Yeah, because it's +8. And so this becomes 18. That becomes Exacxies. And so if instead of cycling we had done draw, we draw into the Tasha's. Or we draw into the Watery Grave and then we draw Tasha's for turn. We still can't Sanity. So we are in the exact same spot. We don't get any additional draws there. Ouch. Affinity. Taking down Mill. Yet again. Sure, we keep this. Alright, match has been found. We kept. And let's see what we can do. Seachrome Coast. Humans. Of course. So Crypt Incursion's looking pretty good here. We just need to find it. Yep. So obviously Delta into Watery Grave to have up Drown in the Lock here. Mill them for 6. Oh yeah. They went fetching. Shocking Esteem Vents. Let me guess. You're going to go blue-white Meddling Mage. In response, we're going to Archive Trap. Uh-huh. Milia 13. Yep. Recruiting humans. And we named. Okay. Interesting name there. They're really afraid of Tasha's. And we take this block while we can. I don't think Tasha's is the card you're supposed to be afraid of here, human. You've got plenty of X drops. Mm-hmm. And that name's human. Reflector Mage. That's a card. Return a creature. We're gonna go fetching. Do this. Get a Watery Grave tapped. Amelia for 6. There goes our Ruin Crab, and then we take 3 here. You think I'm not blocking your 2/2 with my O3? You are sadly mistaken. So I can't cast this. I can't cast this turn. I could field and field them. But I feel we just want to... Can I field plus Tasha's next turn? That's the question. So this... Then we drown... Play field. We have 4. We use 3 of it to hit their land. No. Okay. So we just do this and pass. We have 22 left in deck. I have a feeling Tasha's can hit for a decent amount here. As long as we get to block. Yeah. Your champion grows. Red, white, monkey. Okay. So we're going to be blocking the monkey. And we're going to be drowning the meddling mage. And we'll pay 1. And we don't need to pay 1. We'd rather them draw a land in all actuality here. Monkey goes away. Then we draw a Murderous Cut. So we play out Crab. We play our land. Blue, blue, 1. Tasha's. See if we hit for 15. Nope. You can draw. Make it 14. Look at that. We hit 14 cards. Dope. Okay. So in terms of 3 drops, what they've got going on here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also, only 2 Mantis Rider? That's wrong. Anyway, they've got a good amount of 8 drops. Or 3 drops. They've got 8 of them. So Tasha's isn't great against them. I don't know why they named Tasha's. Anyway, let's go to board. Ghost Quarter, great against them. Damnation, great. Engineering Explosives, not awful. They're not a vile deck, so he's not phenomenal. They're going to be spending their mana most of the time. Pushes are fantastic. Drown, great. Crypt, amazing. Murderous Cut, decent. Archive Trap, not terrible. Anyway. I think it's just Surgical Extraction. There's nothing we really want to nail. At least from their main board. Doesn't their curve stop at 3? Pretty much. But When Tasha's cares about CMC, them having a bunch of 3-drops is never a great thing. It's keepable. I don't like keeping it, but because that's a... Okay, well, that's a Ragavan. It's unfortunate. Yeah, if we can hit a bunch of 1s and 2s, but how often will we? I guess we could have fetched and shocked there, so that way next turn we have crab into land. Let me guess. This is a dashed monkey. No, it's a Thalia. Okay. Because now we're just strictly losing out on value here. We'll just pass. Because we can still cycle the sanity. Gets in for 2. White, white, white. I'm assuming this is that Ardano whatever. Sanctum Prelate. I guess that is indeed a card. Nice. We hit double meddling mage there. That's pretty good. Ghost Quarters, not bad. What number do they pick? 1, 2, 3, or 5? They pick 2. Non-creature spells with the chosen mana value cannot be cast. All right, understandable. So we will go Hedron Crab, Shellduck Isle, mill opponent, and Hideaway. What do we get to Hideaway? We get to Hideaway a Tasha's, because Tasha's, when they're at less than 20, is probably lethal. Any order. And we shall pass the turn. I know we cannot Murderous Cut right now, which is sad. But that's fine. Name your human. Meddling Mage can't be countered. What do we name? Fatal Push? Archive Trap? I name Push. Alright. Second Meddling Mage. Okay, have it all, opponent. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is what they name. Air. We're gonna just take 4 for this turn. Ghost Quarter. Always yield. This hit their cavern. Do they choose to search? They did not. Understandable. And so we can Murderous Cut one of these fools. White, white, 1. Vigilance equal to the number of creatures you control whenever you attack. For each opponent, make a 1/1. Yeah, it's a good thing it doesn't have haste. Mind the secret AS, but then you Psycho Scorter. I'm trying Tibalt's list, Blitz. I just wanted to see how it performs. This murderous cut. I guess we have to murderous cut the meddling mage. This and 3. We go down to 7. Okay. So, dang it. Because this Tasha's isn't hitting for 30. Yeah. This Tasha's isn't hitting for 43. So, like, we can place this on 2. X can't be 2. That's why you set X to 1. And we get around the Thalia tax by doing so, but then we don't have an out. Because we're a mana short. Because I went for the Ghost Quarter line of trying to make them search and then going to pay for archive traps. They decided to, you know, not have to. Problem with the May. Because now this happens and they make, yep. And we have to block the 5/4, taking 8. And a bop. 2 -1 we go. So we would have had 1 more draw. Which would have been a Visions. Wouldn't have got us there. Okay. All right. Humans, I agree with everything that we've done. Yeah. I agree with everything that we've done. I don't feel like we need anything else. Echoing Truth here actually wouldn't be terrible. Echoing Truth, cut. I guess another Surgical. Again, there's nothing we really want to be grabbing from their deck. Try it like so. See if we can get there. Would have loved to play first. Reveal Luris. Hand's got 1 land in it. I can't keep a 1-lander in good faith. Okay. We can keep this, however. Bottoming Swamp. And we will lead off with a blank crab because it is humans. We can take a guess that they don't have any removal. Okay, opponent kept 1. Dark Slick Crab, pass the turn. All right. Unfortunate that we didn't have any mill effects. Let me get with a Steam Vince, that makes me go Monkey. Which we kind of have to push. Vial. Okay. Aether Vial is an interesting choice. This and save targets. Hideaway. Hideaway finds Fractured. Because that makes it so they have 6 cards left in deck. If we're doing it exactly when they have 20. How greed do we go? Because that Adeline's going to be a problem. But so something like Thalia here. But shock Thalia. Mage. Sure. Mage is gonna name. They've been scared. They name push. Fair. They've been scared of Cautious His Laughter. They've named that card every single time so far. This, mill them. Hit a Ragavan, a Recruiter, and a Bolt. Lures to hand pass turn. And on their draw step, we're gonna extract the Recruiter. We go this way, so that way we have Luris and replay Crab if they have a way to deal with it. Sure. Violin your champion. I couldn't do dang it. They violed in a monkey. That's unfortunate. Draw step. Let's get rid of Recruiter. Because that's an annoying card. Okay, well, their hand... They don't have any land. So this is just going to be a Thalia coming down here. Which we can deal with for a bit. It was Thalia, Adeline, Mantis Rider, and Champion. Yeah, because they do this and they violin. Yep. So this, we can block and then replay. And we just have an infinite blocker with the Crab. Is the 2 damage worth it? We'll just take 2. Ragavan can't hit a lot of scary things. Into the story. Good luck casting that one. It's sad that we don't get it. Because we could cast that next turn. But. Yeah, and then you're going to violin your Thalia's Lieutenant. You have yourself a 2/2. Fractured Sanity, huh? So... You do this. Mill opponent. And mill opponent. Thalia. Forgot about that card. So we have land, Luris. Because this makes it so they have Adeline, which grows their champion twice. Unfortunate. So we have... Oh, and then they also get the vial on their Mantis Rider. Yep. So we need damnation off the top here. In order to live. Alright, because... 5, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. We have to block the champion. And we need damnation off the top. Okay. 12, and then to 4. Ragavan shows Crypt Incursion. Well, they can gain a lot of life. That card stalls, but doesn't actually save us. That's not that. So we can shock in, gain 3, and die. Dope. 1 and 3 with Tibalt's mill list. Not to the fault of the list. Want to point that out. That was just an unfortunate series of events against humans. I'd say it's probably a relatively good matchup. They just were able to establish a board state and we couldn't deal with it. Reveal the Luris. And nope. Yeah. No. Okay. Keep. Bottom. Bottom. We need at least some form of interaction. As fun as double trap sounds, if this is a... Why? Why? What did I do to deserve double humans, double affinity this league? Oh. This might be mono white? This is mono white. Interesting. Well, that makes these archive traps dead. Yeah, I'll take 3. Because I know what I'm going to drown. Well, they can sacrifice it to give it indestructible. Boo hiss. This mill and save targets and yield. There's a champion in the yard. Let's get ourselves a basic island here. Yep. Mono white humans. So this archive trap is never turning online, nor is our Field of Ruin. Yeah, your champion gets to grow. Raven makes it bigger. So go here. Attempt to drown there. Would they rather trade with the crab and lose their champion or keep their champion? Okay. They choose their champion. Makes sense. We take 7, go to 7. There's that Field of Ruin card we were talking about being dead. This, I guess, snow-covered swamp. Put Luris into hand, so that way we have a way to infinitely block. Pass the turn, and we're taking 5, going to 1. And Unless they just, you know, have a Brave the Elements and get to name blue. Okay. Mono white humans, huh? Archive trap's not good. Damnation is engineered. Yes. Rebuild's terrible. Echoing Truth isn't bad. Ghost Quarter's better than Field of Ruin, but I don't know by how much. You're talking extremely marginal lines there. When the die roll, reveal the Luris. Sure, we can keep this 7. Oboro into Krabby time. Plains into Parish. Cool. Okay, this mill save targets. Yield. Fetch. Watery Grave, shock it in. Mill them for a bit and push their thingy before they can give it indestructible. Gideon. Sure. And Giant Killer. Just playing a 1/2. Okay. Snow-covered island here, and let's go ahead and just cast this Fractured Sanity. They have 24 cards. We're about to gain a lot of life here. Yeah. I don't even... This is exile, gain 1 life? Okay. Dragon Hunter's exiled, and then Athalia's Lieutenant. And buff your team? Sure, sure. I like the play. No blocks. We'll take 5. Down to 12 we go. They have 27 left in deck. We draw a Drown. We just play a Watery Grave here, tapped. Mill them for a good chunk. While they're tapped out, and go ahead and just do this. Exile 19 cards. We got a 69. Nice. Good luck, opponent. That's the champion of the parish. Sure. I'll take 10. Okay, I'll take 7. Scythian transforms. My crab has to attack. Darn. Okay. And I guess if crab has to attack here, just do this. Go, crab, go. Raven Inspector. Yep. Grows Thalia's Lieutenant and Champion. I already knew that they were going to be growing their cards. But that's to no surprise. And then they're gonna draw off the clue. And you're gonna make my crab have to attack Gideon again? So 3 and 3. Yeah, we're not gonna block. And then this happens. Okay. Ruin crab. Put Luris into hand. And Ghost Quarter. Go ahead and Amelia for 9 opponents. Let's make it 9 more while I'm at it. Hitting our watery grave here, saying yes. Grabbing a swamp. Triple crabs is 9-month streak. My math appears to be off. 1 + 1 + 1 = 7. Yeah. Close enough, right? So this crab has to attack. We're at 55. Opponent's got 3 cards left in deck. Pretty sure we've got this. How you doing, Fluffy? Two cards left in library. We're at 55 alive. I have a feeling this game's on lock. That's a Gideon. I mean, that's a 2/2 and that's a 1/2. 55 life, they got us. Yeah. I have faith they can get there. Bounce Obero. Play Obero. Mill you. All right. So mono white humans still. Yeah, we just need mill spells. Early mill spells and Crypt Incursion here is what we're looking for. Run it back. Archive traps still stay out. Nope. All right. Mulligan. Sure. And keep him bottom. I guess the Ghost Quarter. That's the worst card in this hand. Plains Parish. Yeah. Why wouldn't you have the fun one? Go ahead and shock in the Watery Grave and play down the Ruin Crab. Not too afraid of anti-mill type tech. Double Parish is scary. Especially with a Dauntless Bodyguard. So this is on that champion. Fun. We'll take 3 here because I want to mill as much as possible. We're really looking for answers. Okay. Here we go. Opponent mills 3. And we're going to have cycle into Tasha. Yep. And those grow. We're going to take 5. Make it 6. Do we have an out? Like, damnation's too slow here. I guess engineered is our out here. Cycle, try to find our out. Okay. So 5, 7, 9, 11. Nope. Dang. Just that fast of a start. It's like we can Tasha's if we wanted to, just to see how much Tasha's hits against them. It's not for it hit for 23. That's an impressive Tasha's. However, like we were dead on board to double perish because I'm assuming they have at least. We did bring in the engineering explosives, right? I'm not crazy. Okay, so that wasn't out. So if we had hit engineered explosives, we would have let this happen. And then we still die to the... No, we don't die to anything. Because we blow up their entire board, except for the 7/7, we'd be at 2. I'm just curious as to how far back it was. Okay. Not EE, not EE, not EE. Crypt Incursion, that would have saved us. Okay, so we were a ways away there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. All right. So we took Tibalt's mill list out for a try. It felt decent. I didn't dislike anything. I mean, it's just when you hit affinity humans and then mono white humans, those are some very aggressive decks. And we just didn't have enough answers early. Yeah. That's pretty much what it came down to. It was just an unfortunate league here. It's interesting having to board with the ghost quarters and boarding up to 64 a lot of the time. It's not something I'm really used to doing. It's something you really have to understand. So if you understand how to sideboard like Tibalt does, definitely give it a shot. If you don't, I recommend basically staying away because it's not your traditional mill style. That being said, it's still a great list. It's still fun to play. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one, everybody.